Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori. I wanted to come on and do a quick video on a session I just had. It was really amazing and I wanted to share it with you guys just so that you can understand a little bit more of what I do and perhaps it will activate something within you, a remembrance or something. I'm not sure, but I was called to come on and share this with you guys. So for those of you that don't know, I do guided journeys with the etheric body into the mountain, Mount Shasta. And I go into Telos, which is a Lemurian city, all in a higher frequency, higher vibration. It's not an actual physical city. And I also go into stargates and star portals that give us access to star beings. And a lot of the reason for this is to remember who we are, is to begin to remember why we're here, to begin to remember that we volunteered to come down into a physical body, to remember that we wrote out a contract, that we created a purpose and a mission, that we came to assist humanity and the earth as it's ascending. There's all different reasons. And many of us came from Lemuria. Many of us lived on the Lemurian continent. And many of us are beginning to remember that. And that's why I do these journeys, is to activate that remembrance and to allow you to relax a little bit, that it's okay, that where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be, and that you chose to come down here even though it's not so fun. And there's millions of Lemurians that chose to be on the planet right now to assist humanity in shifting back into that higher state of consciousness. So this beautiful being that I took a journey with today this is the first time I've ever had a walk-in. So he was a walk-in from Telos. So a walk-in is a spirit that has agreed with a physical body. So there's a spirit down here in a physical form that has a higher self and an I am presence and all of that. And there's a light and a spirit inside that body. And there's another spirit that agrees with this body that's walking the planet to come in. And so what happens is this person that's in this physical body right now agrees on a higher level to leave, and a different spirit comes in at certain points along a human's life. So this Lemurian that was inside of Telos agreed with this human being that was on a physical earth plane living out his life, to leave and to allow this Lemurian being to come in to do his work. I didn't ask why do walk-ins happen, why this happens the way it does. I know there's many walk-ins and for many different reasons. But anyways, I was in awe because here is this beautiful Lemurian man who has been inside of Telos for thousands of years, watching, assisting, and holding the fifth dimensional frequency for humanity as we shift, right? So he's watched everything that the humans have been doing. He's watched the struggle. And what occurred and what was happening is he was watching the challenge and difficulty that the Lemurians were having in waking up. So there's millions of Lemurians on the planet right now walking around in physical bodies as third dimensional beings, volunteering as a Lemurian to assist humanity in waking up and moving into the fifth dimensional space. The fifth dimensional frequency is where Lemuria resided in. And so these Lemurians are waking up to the remembrance of this. Oh, I lived where we're moving. I lived in this fifth dimensional frequency, right? But they're having a hard time for whatever reason waking up, remembering, beginning to do what they came on the planet to do. This amazing, beautiful man was in Telos. He had no reason. He did not need to come in. He did not need to do a walk-in. He didn't need to come into the physical body. He was doing his work in Telos. You know, he was serving humanity by holding that frequency. But he was watching the struggle that the Lemurians were having on the planet. All of the Lemurians that are in the physical bodies, he was watching the struggle. And so he volunteered. And he didn't volunteer to come in as a baby. He volunteered as a walk-in. So he communicated with another human body and their higher self, and they agreed, and he came in at some point along that human's journey. So he hasn't been on the earth plane for very long. He's deeply, deeply, deeply connected and still moving back and forth between Telos and his third dimensional body. But what he's doing on the planet right now is he's creating a sacred land. He's creating this sacred space, this portal on the earth. So he has this land that he's creating. I forgot what he's calling it, but it's got, a ceremonial space. He's creating a new earth on the earth. And there are many people that are doing this right now. Lots of people are creating these land spaces, these portals that they're calling New Earth, or they're calling the New Lemuria, fifth dimensional spaces. They're calling them all different things, but they're activated by the Pleiadians. They're activated by other star beings. They're activated by the Lemurians, and it's typically Lemurians that are creating these land spaces, and that's what he's doing. And he's doing it for the service of all of us, all of the Lemurians, and even those that aren't Lemurians. He's creating this land and this space to wake us up, to remind us, to shift the Lemurians quicker. And so he's going to start to, branch out and start to share more about his land and bring more people to his land and do more ceremonies and do more activations and all of this. The reason I wanted to share this story, other than it being phenomenal, I literally felt like I was talking to a Lemurian. I've done hundreds of these journeys. I've spoken to hundreds of Lemurians that are incarnated in a physical body. Typically, the Lemurians that are in physical bodies have been here for thousands and thousands of years. So they have reincarnated over and over and over again. So they feel very human. This man was Lemurian. I was walking with a Lemurian. I was talking to a Lemurian. I was in the presence of a Lemurian. And it was the first time that I was like deeply, deeply in awe. Like, oh my God, you're Lemurian. You're a Lemurian. You're Lemurian. You're amazing. I can't believe you decided to walk in. Why the heck would you come and do that? And so understanding the amount of love that he had, the amount of love he had for the Lemurians on the planet, struggling to remember, struggling to wake up. He had such an immense amount of love for them that he jumped in to assist. And he's accelerated so quickly because that's what he's doing on the planet. I share this with you because if you are Lemurian, if you're resonating with that word, if you're resonating with the struggle of remembering, the struggle of waking up, you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. This is part of the journey. This is part of the process. So many Lemurians are struggling with waking up for whatever reason, because you guys have lived so many freaking lifetimes on the planet. You've been indoctrinated into the third dimension over and over and over again, even though you're Lemurian, even though you need to wake up, even though you need to remember that you volunteered and that there are gifts within you that are going to slowly begin to get activated. And for those of you that aren't Lemurian but are remembering that you came from a different system of light, right? That you have a star family, we're all waking up. We're all moving through our own process. And it's not easy. This human that's human, but he's a Lemurian, saw the struggle and was like, I'm assisting. I'm coming in. Watch out. And I think there's many of those beings that are out there. And so I just wanted to share this to give you some insight onto what's happening. That this is happening, that this is really happening. It's just crazy. And I wanted to also share that I'm doing a group journey June 8th. I'm doing a live group journey where we gather together on Zoom, which is like Skype, and we all come together from all over the world. And I guide us all together in a group into Telos. And one of the reasons I'm doing these groups is so that I can access more people. I can bring more people into Lemuria, into Telos, into these frequencies, so that you can begin to remember, so that you can begin to feel that you're not alone, and that you don't need to have that longing anymore, that you can start to connect to who you are in your physical third dimensional body, you can start to settle back into what you're doing here. And you can start to open up to what you're doing here. This being that was a walk-in, this client, this man that's Lemurian, he had this longing, this longing, this longing. He couldn't get over the longing. You know, he was just constantly wanting to reconnect to his Lemurian family that he left. And so once he went in today, once he met with them and reunited and remembered what he's doing down here, he was relieved. He was like, oh my God, okay, I can now focus on what I'm here to do. And so part of the reason I do these journeys, these live group journeys, is to allow all of you to relax, to connect back to that feeling of being home, to connect back to the fact that you were a Lemurian, that you came onto the planet to assist and volunteer, that you most likely sank with the continent. And if you can start to connect to that energy, if you can start to connect to that frequency again, what it does is it allows you to relax, to settle into this journey, to settle into this path. You know, kick your feet up, even though it doesn't feel like that, and start to begin to allow yourself to move through your journey of awakening and remembering. And for those of you that aren't Lemurian, but that came from a system of light to volunteer as a light worker, these journeys bring you into Telos, and your star family is waiting for you. Your star family is waiting, is there, and you get to feel them. You get to receive messages, some guidance. You feel that feeling of, oh my God, this, what I'm feeling in the human world and what I'm feeling in the third dimensional space is just a tiny aspect of what's really going on, of who I am, of what I'm doing on the planet. That's why I do these group journeys, because I can access more of you. I can pull more of you in. I can bring more of you in at one time and allow you to hear, allow you to feel. There's a huge amount of energy that is felt when you move in with me, when you journey in. So I'm doing this journey live on Zoom, June 8th, which is a Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. And if you can't join live, there's a recording and you can listen to the recording. And it's just as powerful and it's just as potent. And the energy that I'm getting from the beings about this journey is it's a remembrance. It's a coming back together. It's a feeling of I'm not alone. I'm not doing this alone. There are other beings, human beings and multidimensional beings that are walking this path with me. And we're going to come together and we're going to feel it. And we're going to journey. It's $49. You can sign up below. I'm going to have the link below. You can sign up. If you have any questions, ask those questions down below, either by emailing me or leaving me a comment in the comments below. You can find all the information on my website at lorioflemuria.com, LORIEOFLEMURIA. If you have any questions about how this works, reach out to me. I'm trying to get as many people as possible to come on this journey. It's going to be a potent one. It's going to be a powerful one. We're going to come together in our beautiful etheric bodies and we're going to remember who we are. We're going to remember and feel that we are light beings in a physical body. We're going to access these beautiful beings inside this mountain. And it's the beginning. It's like, oh my God, there's so much out there. You know, there's so much out there. And I invite you to feel into whether this feels good to you or not, whether you want to join us or not. For some of you, it'll be a yes right away. For some of you, you'll have to sit with this and be like, oh my God, do I want to even remember? Like, what is all this? And for some of you, it won't feel resonant at all. But I share this with you because I want so many of us to come during this journey. I want us to feel this. It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time we start to open up to our etheric bodies. It's time we open up to the fact that we can travel in our etheric bodies into these portals and dimensions. It's time that we begin to allow ourselves to remember that we're not just physical bodies walking this earth plane, that we're light bodies in a physical form, and that there are multidimensional beings outside of ourselves, not just within ourselves. There are actual multidimensional beings outside of ourselves that are assisting us and that are guiding us and that are welcoming us with open arms so that they can remind us, they can show us, they can let us feel them, feel ourselves, feel the bigger picture, start to remember on a very cellular level, on a very DNA level of what's going on, the bigger picture. They're waiting. They're waiting. And these portals inside Mount Shasta allow us to go into them and to access these frequencies, to access them, because they are at a higher frequency. The Lemurians, the star beings, the ascended masters, the angelic realm, the fairy realm, they're in a higher frequency. And Mount Shasta allows us to move into it in an etheric body and feel them. It's it's amazing. It's magic. I love it. And I want to give it to you guys. I want to share it with you guys. So if you're interested, June 8th, 11 a.m. Pacific, all the details are below. You can sign up below. If you have any questions, ask below. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And what a gift to know that there are beings here like this gentleman today that I met that are walking into bodies and assisting all of us. The courage it took to leave Telos, to leave that beautiful fifth dimensional space and come in at this time is mind-boggling to me. I mean, it's just amazing to me. And this is just one of so many stories of beings that are assisting us right now. And you as well are assisting humanity. You as well are remembering and waking up. So with that being said, my loves, I'm going to go. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Let me know if this activated anything in you. Let me know if you want to join the journey with us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for continuing to show up. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. You'll get the videos every week. You'll get updates on when the videos are coming. And like this video if you like it. Pass it on if you want to pass it on to those that may want to take this journey into Telos. And I'll leave you guys with that. I love you so much. I appreciate every single one of you for listening. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. And you're not alone. We're all doing this together. I love you so much. Thank you.